Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Today is a premium public video, not because I'm worried of any major storms or anything, but I think today is a great teaching moment on how to forecast, especially with understanding model guidance. Okay. Now, many times you'll see on social media and a lot of, I guess you call it hype masters, so to speak, a lot of focus on, well, this model shows the worst case scenario, or this model shows a huge surge or warm air or sometimes Arctic air, and it's just over the top, right? And usually involves a massive change in the model guidance, and a lot of people tend to zone in on that, right? But how do you know when a model is picking up something that could be interesting or is completely bogus? Because it even happens. And it has happened tonight, or should I say this morning, with a model that typically is really, really good. But sometimes it lays an egg. Now, how do you know that? Well, we're going to talk about that with the European model guidance today. And we're also going to take a look at some of the potential for some stronger winds for tomorrow. I just want to bring that up as well. But first, let's talk about the observations. Oh, and of course, a reminder, if you enjoy this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends and family know. And also, if you want to support the channel, you can also subscribe to a premium membership, $11 a month. It actually helps quite a bit, paying for new upgrades and whatnot. So, let's take a look at what's going on in the observations. Not too bad for a Friday morning. Temperatures range from the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s in your suburbs, lower to mid 30s in your urban areas. Winds are generally light and variable, and when we take a look at our surface map, generally high pressures in control. We have some pesky showers here and there off to our west, but a lot of this is not even reaching the ground. So overall, pretty quiet. But trouble is brewing off to the west. As we could see here, we have a nice trough starting to dig here with a cold front supported by a strong polar jet stream. So everything's starting to evolve here. You can see that also pretty nicely here on the infrared satellite picture. The stronger lifting. Remember, the colder the cloud tops, the stronger the lifting, because the stronger the rise, and therefore the farther that the clouds can build up in the atmosphere. So we have some pretty strong lifting here associated with this cold front that's going to be marching its way through. Now, what we're going to be watching for, and I'll pull up this guidance right here. This is the 850 millibar jet streak for tomorrow afternoon. And you could see winds range anywhere between, say, about 45 knots and just around 65 knots. Now, not all of this is going to get mixed down, but when you have some heavier downpours associated with this cold front, some of those strong winds will get mixed down, looking at anywhere between 25 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts and a few isolated rain showers. So if you have any outdoor decorations or whatnot, which I know a lot of people do right now, I would try to secure them or bring them inside for tomorrow afternoon as this cold front marches its way through. So we have a nice cold front coming through, and we have our patterns starting to evolve, and pretty much all the observations are pointing towards that. Again, as we talked about in the live chat on Wednesday, all the observations are lining up pretty nicely. You have the stratospheric support, you're seeing the ozone build up, you're seeing, the convection starting to return to the southwest of Hawaii. You have the polar vortex being disrupted. Look at this warming taking place at 10 millibars now, heading up towards the Arctic Circle. Nice little area of warm air just expanding, getting ready to disrupt the polar vortex. So all the observations, nothing has changed, okay? Which means none of the forcing parameters have changed. But we've seen a pretty significant change in the European guidance, okay? So we'll take a look at what happened with the 0Z first. And the 0Z produces, once we get to about the middle to end of next week, a massive southeast ridge. And of course, naturally, I've gotten a ton of emails, forecast bust, winter's going to fail, blah, 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 blah. Why is this suspect? Okay. So we know we have no change in the forcing parameters, right? We know that nothing's really has changed in terms of the evolution of the polar vortex. The La Nina hasn't strengthened or anything of that nature. All of the observational data you put into these models, no change, right? Okay. So what did change? Well, in the 12Z guidance, you had this evolution of a pretty vigorous upper level trough and upper level low, diving towards the Canadian Maritimes, nice 50-50 low, and just displacing the Southeast Ridge. Now, you could make an argument, and it would be fair, that perhaps this was a little bit extreme, but it has plenty of support, okay? What did the 0Z guidance do? Well, it just said, well, we're just going to ignore that trough. We're just going to pretend that it doesn't phase, doesn't develop at all. And as a result, because this feature doesn't develop, we allow the support for this feature to overphase, especially with this shortwave here. You can see the difference here, okay, with the trough evolution. You can see that evolution starting to take shape. And this is without it. So what it essentially did is that it took the disturbance that was starting to form this negative NAO pattern and basically sheared it apart. Now, this could be a signal if you just step back and say, well, maybe we're moving too fast with this block. Okay, that's a thought. But does it have any support? And this is where you start to look at ensemble guidance, which is right here. So here is your operational. Again, it still tries to develop the block, but it develops it way to the north here. Why? Because the Southeast Ridge just becomes completely amplified and basically it's on steroids. Again, not really fitting the climatological environment with La Nina weakening. Is there any support for it? Well, you can look at the GFS, and the GFS basically says no. But then you could make the argument that the GFS is maybe slow to catch on to these changes. But one thing that I would look at is the ensemble guidance from the European guidance. Now, the ensembles is basically a collection of about 52 individual models, right? And then you take the average of that, and that's essentially what you get for the average, right? So, is there any indication of this massive change? Now, as I suspected, the operational idea of just a huge massive upper level low is not really well supported, but it does support a traditional trough around 50 north, 50 west, and it supports your clear block. It also supports the Southeast Ridge just getting completely annihilated, and we continue to see that evolution moving on beyond that point. In other words, there is literally no hint or no support whatsoever when you look at this compared to the operational. Here's the operational. Here's the ensembles. Completely different. So what this tells me is that the signal to support the operational guidance, and you could use this also when it shows a massive storm. Is there any support from the ensembles from this, in terms of intensity, formation, timing? Typically, when I just say, hey, let's wait a bit before we start making the snow maps, is mostly because I have very limited support from the ensemble guidance of anywhere near that type of evolution of a storm, right? So some people say, hey, look, this guy doesn't like snow, whatever, all right? Usually, snow weenies usually say that. If you don't have support from the ensemble guidance, something is up. And not just, word for word, but if it has literally no replication, no indication whatsoever of what you're seeing here to here, then that means there's been an error. And what I suspect is that error is revolving around if I can find the right map, there we go, the evolution of what is going on in Canada with this upper level trough. And I suspect that the 12Z guidance, or perhaps the 0Z guidance tonight, is going to evolve to a slightly different look. Probably won't be as extreme as yesterday's 12Z, but certainly won't be having this huge southeast ridge just sticking up here, creating havoc and creating a lot of anxiety for winter weather lovers. But this is clearly an example of just a bad model run. And you have a little bit of patience, and this is why you create a forecast idea based on science and based on observations and based on meteorological law, and then you look at the models and then you kind of understand it and then you fine tune it. So with that said, let's take a look at our going forecast. And today we are using the GFS, which I'm not going to say this a lot, but looks like it's a little bit more of a stable model guidance for today. So good job, Americans. There we go. NCEP needs a win anyway, so hey, there we have it. So high pressure is going to be in control for today with tranquil weather conditions. Look for high temperatures ranging from the upper 30s to lower 40s over the northern interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast. For tonight, look for increasing cloud cover into tomorrow morning with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in the Delaware River Valley and suburbs, and mid to upper 40s on the immediate coast. Tomorrow afternoon, the cold front moves through with periods of showers, heavy at times. Watch out for those strong wind gusts. Temperatures will rise into the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. Then temperatures free fall on Saturday night, tomorrow night, into Sunday morning. How much of a free fall? Well, how about low temperatures by Sunday morning ranging from the lower to mid 20s over the interior and upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. So we go from the almost near 60-degree weather on Saturday afternoon to temperatures around 30. So about a 30-degree drop by the time we get to Sunday morning. And Sunday afternoon, look for scattered cloud cover with temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 30s over the northern interior and upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. On Monday, high pressure will be in control, although it will be departing. Look for scattered cloud cover. Low temperatures will range from the lower to mid 20s over the interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 40s along the coast and upper 30s to lower 40s over the interior. On Tuesday, a cold front will move through with periods of showers expected. This cold front's going to be moving slow, though. Look for low temperatures on Tuesday ranging from the mid to upper 30s over the interior, upper 30s to mid 40s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 40s over the interior and lower to mid 50s over along the coast. We could see a few mid to upper 50s around Philadelphia, so we'll keep an eye on that depending on the warm front moving northward and the cold front coming in on it. On Wednesday, the cold front finally clears the region with a few lingering showers. Look for low temperatures to range from the lower to mid 30s over the interior, upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. High temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the interior, mid to upper 40s along the coast. On Thursday, high pressure will be in control with scattered cloud cover. Low temperatures will range from the mid to upper 20s over the interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the mid to upper 30s over the interior and upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. On Friday, an area of low pressure will approach, but it looks like it's going to remain suppressed to the south. Certainly the potential for snowfall will be developing, especially as you head towards south central Pennsylvania, maybe the Delmarva Peninsula. We'll have to see how this low pressure system evolves, but I would not be surprised if we start to see the potential for some snow showers pushing into, let's say, the Philadelphia metro by Friday night, next Friday night. So that's certainly something that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Temperatures will range from the mid to upper teens over the northern interior, lower to mid 20s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. That is your forecast discussion for today. I hope that you learned something new about meteorology and how to use model guidance. Again, if you enjoy this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you want more information like this that we do every day in the premium section, definitely check out the premium consulting membership. and subscribe only $11 a month. It's also a great gift for the holiday season. Get a full 1-year membership for just $80, which is a nice little gift for someone who is interested in science and meteorology or who travels a lot. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and as always, stay safe out there.